Hey guys, this is Lauren with Laurenann Designs. Today we're going to go over how to make custom name stickers for your Christmas gifts using a Cricut and Canva software. If you're not familiar with Canva, I'll go over it a little bit with you and then how to set up your settings in Cricut to get these to print perfectly so that you can get your gifts all wrapped up. So the first thing you want to do is open a new project in Canva. I already have one that I use, but the sticker sheet size you'll want to do is 6.75 by 9.25. That's the size that I use for my sheets. And then I went ahead and started with a circle. Now, if you're not familiar with Canva, you'll go over to the elements and you will add, and I typed in circle. So it added that in there. And then, of course, I have to search through all of their graphics. There are like thousands of graphics, and I was making these tags for my daughter and son, and it was really hard to decide what I wanted to go with on the look. So you'll see that I just go in and make some adjustments and play around with different fonts and images until I eventually came up with exactly what I wanted. But these stickers, I'm doing 3x3 circles. I think that's a great size for gifts. That way it's not too small and it's not too large, and they'll be able to pick theirs out immediately when they see it. So when you start using Canva, they have literally thousands of fonts and graphics. I have in the past uploaded a ton of my own, but I wanted to kind of show the different options that you might have, and this is in no way at all sponsored by Canva. I just use this program a ton with my business, and if you're not familiar with it, I just wanted you to see a little bit of the options that you do have to use on Canva. So for my stickers, like I said, I'm doing a 3x3 circle, and eventually once you get them laid out exactly how you want with the design, you're going to want to duplicate as many as you can get on a sheet. So I was able to get 6 of these on the sheet. Just make sure that you have evenly spaced objects and don't get them too close to any of the borders around any of the sides or the top and the bottom, and that will go ahead and give you the best cut possible. So I went ahead and, like I said, I'm making these for my son and my daughter, so I'll go ahead here and I duplicated that page so that I could go ahead and make some for him as well. So I'll just go ahead and make those, and again, that took me quite a while because I didn't know what I wanted to do ahead of time. I just kind of was playing around with the fonts and the graphics and just see what I come up with. So once I got the final design for my son, it took me a minute, but I'll go ahead and do the same thing where I lay out 6 again because they're the exact same size. So same thing, lay out your 6 on there and then watch your borders and your edges and make sure that your spacing is pretty even, as close to you can get it. And then what you're going to do in the top right is you'll eventually hit the share button when you're ready. And one of the most important things when you are downloading your file is to make sure that your background is transparent. So I will show you how to do that right here. When you hit download, hit the transparent background checkbox, and then you'll select the page that you're downloading, and you'll go ahead and save that to your computer, and then do the same thing with any of the sheets that you're doing. Just always make sure for stickers that it has a transparent background. That will allow the Cricut machine to go ahead and read just the object that you want cut out rather than the white. You can remove the background in the Cricut software, but I find this way a lot easier. It's just a much cleaner outline of the object when you download it from here. So once you have that all downloaded, you'll open your Cricut software and you'll make a new project, and then you'll need to upload your new image. So you'll obviously want to go and find that file on your computer and upload it, and it will look something like this, and hit continue. And then since we downloaded it in a transparent background, you'll see that there already is nothing there. You just see that checkerboard. That means that you did it right and it doesn't have a background. So go ahead and hit apply and continue, and then that will go ahead and upload into your software because you don't need to remove anything. And then if you get this size exclamation point over there on the image, you can click on it and just hit to auto resize. That will make sure that it will fit perfectly for your sheet, and then when you go ahead and hit make it, it will lay it out on this sheet for you so you can see how it will be on your cutting mat. I'll go ahead and send this to my printer. They added this new feature that shows you the center marks were added. You can go ahead and click don't show this again. I'll go ahead and remove that one there. And then just send it to whichever printer you use. I have a ton of printers, so once they all load in, I actually use the system dialog. I don't ever like to print directly from that software. So I'll pull up my printer here, and then I'll hit on my preferences. I'm using a white gloss label paper. So once that loads up, I will actually select the paper from there, the label paper, and then select the right tray. And I want to go ahead and make 3 copies of each. So I'll go ahead and edit that, and then I'll just go ahead and click print. Once you get it printed over, you'll go ahead and you'll need to connect your Cricut. I'm using mine through Bluetooth, so I'll let that load up, and then you'll just want to select the correct device there if you do have multiple. For my stickers, I'm using a white gloss from Online Labels, and the perfect setting for the Kiss Cut option is the parchment paper setting. I think that gives a perfect cut every time, and I will make sure that I post those labels down in the description as well. So when you want to see all of the options that you can set on, make sure that your Cricut itself is set to this custom option on the dial. That will give you all of the options that were shown on the computer screen and allow you to search and select the parchment paper. I have it saved as one of my favorites, but once they're printed, this is what that gloss paper looks like for these labels. I think they turn out really, really nice. And again, here is that paper. I'll go ahead and make sure I post that down below. I have used this one for years. I use several different finish options in their papers, and they have always turned out really, really well for my prints. Once those are printed out, go ahead and grab your cutting mat and remove the sheet protector on there, and then make sure you place the arrow face up that's in that corner and just align your edges perfectly. I can go ahead and use my hands and press it, make sure it's really flat, but I do have this rolling tool. I'll go ahead and use that sometimes. It works pretty well if you have different surfaces that you need to adhere to. For this, it's not really necessary with this paper, but you'll have that on your mat, and then go ahead and take it over to your machine. Since you have your cut settings all ready to go, you'll just feed it in and then go ahead and click the cut button. Once it is finished up cutting, one of the most important tips is to actually peel the mat off of the paper. So bend the mat and peel it rather than just grabbing the paper and peeling it. That will avoid it getting stuck, and that also helps so that it doesn't curl. But these cut really, really well, and you can see that they cut perfectly right around the circle exactly how I wanted to, and these will be perfect on Christmas. these definitely turned out super cute, and I'll be excited to put them on some gifts for this Christmas, and I'll make sure that I do some other names as well. One of the other most important tips if you're newer to cutting with a machine would be to cover your mat when you're not using it and put the dust cover back on it. That keeps it clean so that everything sticks really well in the future. But if you have any questions, definitely comment below, and if there's any other tutorials that you'd like to see, let me know.